I was alone in the basement when I started streaming, but the breathing on the mic, it wasn't mine. Episode 1, The Subscriber Count Never Stops. My name used to be Tyler Plays Horror. Now, I'm not sure what to call myself. A week ago, I tried to restart the channel. It was dead. Flatlined views, comments from bots, and the creeping realization that maybe no one cared anymore. I needed something real. Something to pull people in. Then I remembered the house. My grandfather's place, way out near the edge of Elk Creek. I hadn't been there since I was 8. Since my brother Josh disappeared. No explanation. No body. Just a missing child and a family that never recovered. People used to ask me what happened that night. All I remembered was hearing a scream from the basement. And then nothing. Like someone cut the reel. That was enough of a setup, right? So I packed a bag, drove out there alone, and told myself this would be my comeback stream. Horror in real life. Unscripted. Unfiltered. It started quiet. Just me, a flashlight, and my phone. I descended the creaking steps into the basement and set the phone against an old paint can. The lighting was awful. Perfect. I looked straight into the lens. Okay, chat. This is it. No editing, no effects. Just me, my dead grandfather's basement, and maybe the truth about what happened to Josh. The stream started with 7 viewers, then 30, then over 100. Comments flew by. This is fake, right? Bro, I hate how quiet it is down there. Why does it feel like someone's behind him? 5 minutes in, I left the basement to grab coffee. Just 3 minutes. I left the phone streaming, pointing at the stairs. When I got back, the chat had exploded. Who TF is that? Tyler.tf, you said BRB. He moved. Rewind. He moved. I scrubbed the footage. At 2:41, a shadow crossed the back wall. Fast, but not fast enough. It was human. Not mine. I laughed, played it off, called it compression glitch. But something about it felt wrong. Not just the figure, but the angle. The camera had panned, slightly, as if someone touched it. Then I noticed the live counter. 300, 400, 500 and climbing. No shares, no tags, no push. And then, one username in the flood. J0esh19_. He's still down here. I froze. The stream stuttered. I hit end. OBS froze. I force quit the program, unplugged the mic, closed the laptop. But the camera light stayed on. The stream was still live. And now, on the screen, I was standing in the basement. Still. Silent. Staring into the lens. Except, I wasn't. I was sitting right there, watching it. And through the headphones came breathing. Not mine. Wet. Close. Like someone inches from the mic, just waiting for me to speak. You didn't come back, the chat said. Episode 2. Comments I didn't read out loud. I shut everything off. At least, I thought I did. The laptop was closed, the app was force quit, but the LED on the webcam was still glowing. Tiny, red, and watching. Just like it used to when Josh would sit in front of Dad's old desktop and whisper into the mic, pretending he had fans. He never streamed. But he always acted like someone was listening. That memory didn't sit right. It hadn't in years. I opened the laptop again, half expecting the screen to be blank. But it wasn't. The stream was still live. And worse, the footage was wrong. It was me on screen. But the lighting was different. The angle was tighter, more intimate, like the camera had moved closer, even though I hadn't touched it. I wasn't talking, but my mouth moved. The chat box was flying. Tyler, who's behind you? Is this pre-recorded? Wait, he just said something else. Yo, rewind, he said Josh. I didn't say Josh. I watched the playback again, slower. At timestamp 17:04. I looked into the camera and said, "He's still in the basement." I slapped the laptop shut. Because here's the thing. I remember everything I said that night. I was nervous, yes. But I wasn't rambling. I never said that. And definitely not in that voice. It was mine, but off. Like I was lip-syncing someone else's line. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I checked the video again. YouTube said it had 12,000 views. There were comments in Russian, in Korean, even one in Latin. Some were laughing, others begging me to stop. I scrolled. Most of them I ignored, but a few stood out, the ones I knew I hadn't seen on stream. He's doing it again. This is where it starts looping. They never let the brother leave. Brother. I clicked on the username that posted that last one. Jesus19_ no channel, no uploads. But a single, looping video on the profile. Just a still shot of the basement door. Except, it wasn't the door from my stream. It was from this morning. Because I could see my jacket hanging by the stairs. I could see my footprints in the dust. I checked the timestamp. It had been uploaded an hour ago, while I was asleep. Except, I never left the room, and I sure as hell didn't film anything. There was a comment beneath the video. Only one. From a user named Void Echo _. He's reading them now, but he won't read the ones we didn't post. Episode 3, Offline Means Nothing Here. I disconnected everything. Router unplugged. Power killed at the breaker. Phone on airplane mode. The house was dead quiet. I sat in the living room with a flashlight and waited for the silence to feel like control again. But silence can lie too. I opened my laptop. Just to prove it was over. But the browser opened by itself. Not to YouTube. To a stream window. To my stream. Except, I wasn't live. Or I wasn't supposed to be. I moved my hand in front of the screen. Nothing. On stream, I stood completely still. Head down. Breathing loud. "That's not now," I whispered. "That's a recording." But the timestamp said otherwise. It matched the clock on my phone. Down to the second. I shut the lid again. Then I heard it. That faint chat ding. You know the sound. When a new comment pops up. Except I had no app open. No browser running. The sound came from the hallway. I got up, stepped toward it. It came again. Ding. This time, from the kitchen. Everywhere I walked, the sound followed. "You're still live." I spun around. No one there. But there was something new on the wall by the basement door. Black marker. Fresh. Live. 471 watching now. My legs felt like rubber. I ran outside, barefoot, stupid, into the night. I just needed air. Distance. The stars looked wrong. I didn't recognize the skyline. The forest around the house seemed taller, closer, pressed in. And then, in the quiet, I heard it again. That ding. But it didn't sound like a notification anymore. It sounded like a laugh. I turned toward the sound, and on the gravel driveway, lit only by my phone screen, I saw footprints. Not mine. Still, fresh. Leading away from the house, and then back again. Inside, I tried one last thing. New laptop, no apps, clean install, no login. Still, the stream appeared. And this time, it had comments I hadn't seen before. One scrolled slowly across the screen. "Get ready. This is the part with the knock." 3 seconds later, knock, knock, basement door. Twice. Like someone followed a script. I grabbed my keys. I don't remember driving. I don't even know how I made it to town. But when I stopped for gas, I noticed something. The guy at the counter looked up from his phone and smiled. "Hey man, I know you. You're that guy. From the stream, right?" I didn't answer. I paid, went outside, and in the rearview mirror of my car, I saw the gas station screen still playing. Me. Still in the basement. But that wasn't what made me scream. It was the chat. Scrolling. In the reflection. Episode 4. He's just rewatching now. I stopped trying to end the stream. Every attempt froze, glitched, restarted, and every time I reopened the laptop, the footage was the same. Me. In the basement. Same position. Same dim lighting. Same expression I didn't remember making. The creepiest part? The camera angles started changing. I had only set up one phone, remember? But now there were jump cuts, smooth pans, over-the-shoulder shots, like someone else was filming. No, like someone had filmed. Already. I noticed something else, a pattern in the chat. Here it comes again. Latter part's next, right? This is where he freaks out. It wasn't live commentary. It was a script. I looked at the viewer count. 471. Same as before. Every time. Even the usernames were identical. Jzerosh19, Void Echo, Other Site Looping Lily. They weren't just viewers. They were audience members in a show that had already happened. Maybe dozens of times. Maybe forever. I checked the stream's archive, just to prove it was a glitch. But there were backups, dozens of them. All the same video, dated weeks before I even came here. Some from months ago. Same stream. Same moments. Same fear on my face. I watched one. And in it, I said something I hadn't said yet. If you're watching this, then I already lost. I closed the tab. My fingers were trembling. Then came the whispers. Not through the mic. From the laptop speakers. They didn't match anything I said. He's just rewatching now. Let it loop. He gets worse after the mirror part. Mirror part? I stood and looked toward the hallway. There was an old, cracked mirror there. One I hadn't looked into since I got here. My reflection stood perfectly still. But I blinked. And it didn't. I leaned closer. And it leaned back just a little too fast. Like it was impatient. I slammed the laptop shut. Enough. I threw it in the fire pit behind the house, watched the screen crack, battery sizzle, and for the first time in days, I felt like I could breathe, until my phone vibrated. I looked down. Notification from YouTube. Your scheduled stream is about to begin. But I didn't schedule anything. I opened the app. There it was. Same title. Same thumbnail. Same timer. Except now. The thumbnail wasn't me. It was my reflection. Smiling. Episode 5. Skip to the screaming. I tried to go silent. No voice, no stream, no mention of the basement. I deleted all the apps, reset every password. I threw out the mic. But the voice didn't stop, because now, it wasn't mine. The first time it happened, I was in bed, just staring at the ceiling. And then, from the hallway, "Don't go to sleep yet. They're waiting for the scream." I didn't recognize it, but it was coming from my own voice recorder, one I hadn't touched since high school. It had turned itself on. The screen read, Rec 000214. And in the recording, my voice, saying things I had never said. I ran outside again. No idea where I was going. I just needed out. But the road didn't lead anywhere. It looped back to the house, no matter which direction I turned. Like I was on a track. And every time I came around the corner, the light in the basement window was on. I hadn't been down there in days. At least, I didn't think I had. Back inside, I finally gave in and opened YouTube again. Not my account, but others. Dozens of channels, clips of me, same footage, same voice, same screams, different angles. Some showed me crying, others screaming at something just off screen. But in all of them, I never blinked. And the comments were worse. This one's louder. Skip to the screaming. He's starting to lose his face in this one. I clicked one at random. It was titled Episode 31. Tyler's Basement Finale. But I hadn't filmed any finale. The video started like the others. Dark basement, one light bulb, me walking down. But then something different. The camera was lower, almost crawling. And the breathing. It wasn't mine. At the 8-minute mark, I turned to the camera and whispered, "Please stop watching. Every view brings it closer." Then I screamed. Long, raw. Not like I was scared, like I was being peeled. I closed the tab, shaking. Then noticed something new. In the up next queue, a video titled, "He's Just Repeating Now." And beneath it, the views. 0. I clicked it, and watched myself in real time pick up the laptop and hit play. It was this moment, this video. And my voice said, "You're not watching anymore. You're participating." Episode 6, You're Not the Audience Anymore. I stopped trying to figure out what was happening. There was no explanation, no fix, no escape. I wasn't being watched anymore. I was being used. And whatever was watching me had learned how to wear my skin. It started when I noticed the delay. I looked at myself on the stream, moved my hand. The image moved half a second later. Not lag, not buffering. It was watching me and mimicking. Then it began saying things. I'd stay silent, but on the stream, my mouth moved. Smiling, talking, saying things I'd never think of saying. "We're not here to scare you. We're here to practice. How do you think we learn to speak like you? Thank you for your voice." I unplugged everything again. Smashed the cameras, ripped out the wires. But every screen still showed me. I opened a random video on a horror subreddit. Not mine. A found footage clip. But halfway through, I recognized the basement. My basement. And then, my voice. Welcome back to the stream. Tonight we try something new. Only it wasn't from my channel. I opened my phone's front camera, just to see. And for a moment, just a moment, the image blinked first. Then I got a notification. "You've been mentioned in a post." Click. Image. Screenshot. A viewer's phone, watching a live stream. But I wasn't on screen. I was behind the viewer, smiling. Still. Flickering. I tried talking to them, went live, intentionally, sat down, looked into the lens, and said, "Who are you? Why are you watching this?" No reply. Just comments. This is the part where he begs. This episode's slower than the last. He still doesn't know, lol. Then, something new. He's not watching this anymore. He is this. I checked the reflection in the screen, but there was nothing. No face, no room, just static, and the faint outline of someone watching me, on another screen, in another room, from the angle of someone sitting exactly where I was. And then, the audio cut out. The image froze. A loading icon spun in the middle of the screen. Then, a message. The stream will begin shortly. Episode 7. The stream will begin shortly. I don't remember sleeping. I remember static. I remember the red light on the camera, blinking slower. Like a heartbeat winding down. Like something inside it was resting. But not gone. I woke up to the sound of a loading screen. The stream will begin shortly. No time. No countdown. Just those words. Hovering in the air like smoke, I couldn't wave away. I was in the basement again. But I didn't remember walking here. Didn't remember turning on the lights. Didn't remember hitting record. Yet, the stream was live. Viewer. Count. 1 million. I tried to leave. Climbed the stairs. Opened the basement door. Only, it led to the basement. Same room. Same camera. Same blinking light. I tried again. Same result. Basement, basement, basement. As if the door wasn't a door anymore. Just a placeholder for hope. I stopped resisting, sat on the old wooden chair, faced the lens, and waited. It watched. I watched. And then, the comments started again. He's back. Start the loop. New viewer joined. Let's go. New viewer. I checked the counter. 2 watching now, then 3, then 5, then 37. Somewhere out there, people were watching. Somewhere out there, someone just clicked a thumbnail titled, Live Basement Stream. 001 elapsed. I could see it in my head, the home page, my face, frozen mid-breath. Except, it wasn't me anymore. Not really. It looked like me. Spoke like me. But it said things I never said. It greeted them. Thanks for tuning in. You're just in time. And I realized I wasn't the streamer anymore. I was what the stream was about. The screen flickered. My reflection still smiling. The comments blurred, then refocused. He's not the first. Won't be the last. Let it breathe. Then one last message, all in red. Would you like to start a stream of your own? The options. Yes and yes. Somewhere in a quiet room, a new viewer clicks play. The sound turns on. The screen flickers. The voice greets them. Hey everyone, it's Tyler. I'm streaming from my grandfather's basement. The basement where nothing stays dead, where nothing ends, where the only thing louder than silence is the breathing. Still watching? Then maybe. You're next.
This story has come to an end. Ever had something like this happen to you? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next true horror story.